Hello, everybody, and welcome back to GAA Fan TV. My name is Aaron. It is the live watch-along stream for Mayo and Kildare in the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship qualifiers round 2, or the final round of the qualifiers, you could say. Huge game for both counties, for every county really going into the qualifiers, and in particular, obviously, for both Mayo and Kildare. Mayo, as we very well know, the kings of the qualifiers. They have been the side that have come through the qualifiers more often than not in numerous occasions and have gone on to reach All-Ireland finals and all the rest. But Kildare, let's not forget, the last time these two teams met in the championship and met in the qualifiers, it was Kildare who pulled up with the victory. And, obviously that game was in Newbridge, the whole Newbridge or nowhere. This game is in Croke Park. Going to be interesting to see if there's actually many people even at the game. But yeah, look, and we've seen already, I mean, the absolute drama between Clare and Roscommon earlier today was absolutely extraordinary. If you haven't seen that match reaction already, make sure to go and check that out when you get a chance, because that was an incredible game. Absolutely incredible, really. The way Clare managed to turn that around and fight back from the dead was just incredible. We're about 9 minutes away from throw-in, and if you are tuned in, very much appreciate it. A bit of alternative commentary, all the rest, and a little bit different to the usual crack. So we will get the team news out in just a moment. I'm not even too sure if the Kildare team news has been released. Yeah, I'd imagine it has to have been released by now, surely. But I believe the Mayo side is unchanged from last week, but we will wait and see right there. So we'll just get the team news up on the screen here now in just a brief moment. Let me know your predictions as well. We'll get a score prediction from myself up on the screen in just a brief moment. But here are the team news there. So you can see the Mayo side: Rob Henley, Lee Keegan, Oisin Mullen, Enda Hessian, Paddy Durkin, Stephen Cohen, and Owen McLaughlin, Aidan O'Shea, Matthew Rowan, Jeremy O'Connor, Jason Doherty, Conor Loftus, James Carr, Jack Carney, and Killian O'Connor. Jason Doherty there, I think the only change from the last game as Aidan Orme drops out there. The Kildare side, you've got Aaron O'Neill in goal, Mick O'Grady, Shay Ryan, and Ryan Houlihan. Darragh Malone, David Hoyland, Kevin Flynn make up the half-back line. Midfield is Kevin Feely and Kevin O'Callaghan. Half-forward line, Alex Byrne, Ben McCormick, and Fergal Conway. Neil Flynn, Daniel Flynn, and Jimmy Hoyland make up the full forward line there as well. Plenty of comments coming in, so much appreciated. Gavin says here, completely shocked here in Croker by that penalty and that Clare comeback. Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible comeback, and one that I don't think anyone seen coming. As I said, on the reaction, I'd started preparing the stream for a Roscommon win. There was a brief moment in the title where it said Roscommon were into the last 8. So I don't know, maybe I jinxed them, maybe I cursed them a little bit there, but it was incredible. I just, I still can't quite believe they've managed to do that. And yeah, if you're a Roscommon fan, that's a very, very hard one to take, to be honest. If I was a Roscommon fan, I'd probably just stay away from GAA until 2023, to be honest. But as Dublin fans, we haven't had too many days like that, so I can't quite relate to it. But I remember when Dublin got absolutely mauled by Kerry one year in an All-Ireland quarter-final, and it wasn't pretty. Emmett says here, just wonder how much scar tissue Kildare will have today after the last day. Mayo actually like Croke Park and play well there, except finals. They certainly do, and these are the type of games that Mayo love in Croke Park, and it'd be interesting to see what way Kildare set up, because I think there needs to be balance. I don't think they should just get every man behind the ball and be overly defensive, because that hasn't been how they've played all year. To completely switch up a style for one game, I don't think is the right way. But there definitely does need to be more of a balance, all right. And if they are going to be going man to man, there needs to be a bit more cover in and around the back. And let's not forget, still no Ryan O'Donoghue in the Mayo side. I mean, we'll see if there's been any late changes. Maybe he's going to be in there. I'm not sure. But, the Mayo are lacking clinical, shooters from distance. So maybe it could work in Kildare's favour. We'll obviously have to wait and see. In terms of a score prediction from myself, I'm going to go with something like this: Mayo 216, Kildare 112. I feel like that's a fair assumption. I can see Kildare getting on the score sheet all right in terms of a goal. I think maybe it might be a bit of a consolation, but when you've seen how open Kildare have been at the back, I mean, maybe I'm being a bit generous there because Westmeath scored 215 against against Kildare, and obviously Dublin racked up 5 goals in about half an hour. So maybe being a little bit generous there, but I do just think there'll be a little bit more emphasis on the defensive side of things from a Kildare perspective, which might just keep the score down ever so narrowly, but maybe prevent themselves a little bit more so in the attack. Random film student says, as a Derry man, I just want to avoid Donegal or Armagh. I think we can beat everyone else, no issue. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can play Donegal. I did see your comment earlier when you were saying how will the quarterfinal draw work? Is it just out of a hat, or do specific provinces play? It is just out of a hat, but from what I've heard anyway, and from what a lot of people, credited journalists and all the rest have said, credited. Sorry, I just got a bit distracted there by something else. But the Ireland-Scotland game is also, of course, on at the minute. But what was I saying? Yeah, credited journalists and all the rest have said that there can't be repeat pairings in the All-Ireland quarter-final. So, for example, if Kildare were to win today, they can't play Dublin. And if Donegal were to win, they obviously can't play Derry. So I don't know if that's true. That hasn't been true in the past. But look, we'll obviously have to wait and see. There, as an outside of football, Ireland are beating Scotland. There you go. Absolutely incredible scenes right there. Emmett says, I'm going Mayo by 7, Kildare 12 points, Mayo 13. 2-13. Yeah, just looking at the team there, Connor Loftus, I think was he? I don't think he was in the starting 15. That might be a possible late change there. Padraig O'Hara on the bench. I'm surprised. I don't know if that's an injury or what the story is there. Has he been dropped? That's an interesting one because people have a short memory. I remember against Dublin, he was extraordinary. Yes, he didn't have the best game against Kerry or Galway, but I think that was more so down to the system rather than him himself. Doesn't look like any changes there from the Kildare team. Neil Flynn is in there, I think. Ben McCormick obviously playing at 11. So, for Kildare, they've a lot of attacking talent. They've a lot of attacking quality. And, it'd be interesting to see what happens, in terms of those Kildare forwards and what problems they can cause. Mayo TV says here, Derry versus Cork, Dublin v Mayo, Galway v Clare, Kerry v Armagh in the next round. And what the incredible thing is there? Like if that was the case, either one of Derry, Cork, Galway, or Clare would be in an All-Ireland final. And that's that would be quite kind of extraordinary. So there is a world in which you could have a team in an All-Ireland final this year that very rarely appears in an All-Ireland final. I know Galway, historically in the past have had big teams that have made All-Ireland finals, but haven't done so in quite a long, long time. So we'll obviously have to wait and see. But we're just getting ready for the throw in here. Both sides just doing the national anthem and all the rest. Change of the Kildare goalkeeper, which is interesting as well. I remember Aaron O'Neill was certainly taking the piss a little bit out of the Dubs when they played them in Newbridge. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him in this one. But yeah, look, I think you would have to expect Mayo to pull through. I think a loss here would be another big shock and a big surprise, I think, in most people's opinions. Sarah says, very small crowd here in Croker. I understand GAA have games sold to Sky, but the onus needs to be on Sky to travel to the game. Supporters pissed off, then again, maybe has nothing to do with Sky coverage. Yeah, but it's hard to know what else, it's hard to know why else they'd have those games in Croke Park, like just looking at it from here, Yeah, it looks, geez, it looks very dead indeed. I mean, the Hill obviously, I don't know why they don't open the Hill as well to other teams. You know, they used to do that, and for some reason they don't seem to do that since COVID. I don't really understand why that is. You know, I know obviously Hill 16 is majority of Dublin fans, but it is, you know, it's not supposed to be that way. It's just kind of, that's how it's kind of like an unwritten rule in the GAA. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on there, but I think, you know, having this game in a Breffni Park or a, you know, Carrick on Shannon or something like that would probably have made a little bit more sense. Would have been further for Kildare to travel, but I think it would have made slightly more sense indeed. Shane says, I think Mayo will win because it's in Crow Park, a tighter pitch, and I'd give Kildare a chance. Yeah, you know, you would say so, you know, especially with Kildare's sort of record in smaller pitches in Newbridge and all the rest. But we're just getting ready here for the throw in. Mayo and Kildare off and running. Yeah, it does. You know, you can kind of see there all the crowd sort of, they're tightly packed together. So it might look like there's a good bunch of crowd there, but there's very little, very little. I mean, I don't even know if you're talking more than 20,000 there. You could be looking at considerably less. It'd be very interesting to see what the attendance is. But Mayo straight away winning a free there by the looks of things, and Robbie Henley's come all the way up to take it. So if Robbie Henley has his shooting boots on, then you would expect him to slot this one over. Give Mayo the early score. I think it is crucial for Kildare not to fall too far behind in this game, though, because if they go, you know, 7-8 points down early on, it's just, you know, confidence could wane, all the rest. But Robbie Henley's missed that one, so stays level for the opening minute of the game. We will get the score up on the screen as well. No score so far here in the opening minute. Kildare going short from the kick out. You'd expect Mayo certainly to press up on Kildare's kick outs, because that has been the big issue for Kildare in the past. Yeah, Ireland beating Scotland 2-0 at half time. That's a result I didn't see coming, but there you have it. Fair play. Seen all the Scottish out in the city centre, loving their time here, but maybe not so much so at the moment. Kildare on the attack here, going very direct, and Daniel Flynn calls the mark right in front of goal. You'd expect them to slot this one over the bar. And you're seeing Kildare going quite direct there, and there was, you know, even if Daniel Flynn didn't call that mark there, he probably would have had time to put the ball. Oh wait, he hasn't. This hasn't gone over. What on earth has happened there? Did that go short? Jesus, didn't go over the bar anyway. But I don't know what's after happening there. I mean, I just assumed he was going to put it over the bar. I mean, he was literally right in front of goal. Crazy stuff there. How's it going, mate? What's your score predictions? I think Mayo will win by 6 or 7 points. Says yeah, nice try there. You have to admire. You have to try. But I'm not going to be. When I seen a name like that, I was like, that's a little weird, isn't it? But yeah, nice one. But yeah, I think Mayo will win by 6 or 7 points in the end. But look, that was a big chance there for Daniel Flynn from a mark. You know, you're not going to get too many better opportunities than that in Crow Park, and extraordinary enough, I think he's hit it short. And now Mayo will have a relatively routine here, free from Killian O'Connor, who should put it over, but he's put it wide as well. So the shooting boots definitely not on here for either side in the opening 3 minutes. There, you know, 3 opportunities in total there that you would normally have seen go over the bar. So you know, a little bit surprising there, in my opinion, that hasn't gone over the bar. But yeah, remains 0-0 here between the two. So there you go. Okay, Kildare on the attack again, just getting a little bit of space. Ben McCormick, has he put it wide as well? He has. A little bit slow to start. Connor says, where can you watch the game? Is it only on Sky Sports? Yeah, unfortunately, I think it is, mate. Yeah, I think it is. I think you can watch it on GAA Go, but I think you need to be outside of either Ireland or the UK. So if you have a VPN, you could probably find a way to watch it on GAA Go, but you'd still end up having to pay I think a tenner anyway. So, but you could. What I would actually recommend people to do is get an Now TV subscription. I think you can get. I think there's like free trials you can get or something like that. Look at this. Plug in Now TV. I mean, plug in Now TV. There you go. But yeah, Sarah says Flynn hit the post from that mark. Yeah, incredible miss. But Mayo have got the opening score of the game there. Jack Carney, I think it is there, with a lovely point from the left hand side. So Mayo get up and running, and just misses like that from Kildare. Like, they can just wane the confidence of a team a little bit. Kildare are already coming into this a little bit beaten and bruised. Flynn didn't even score against the Dubs, and you'd be expecting them to score here. But that's a lovely bit of play there. But he's put that one wide as well. His finishing just sometimes lets him down. It's like everything else from Daniel Flynn is brilliant. His hold up play is fantastic, but just sometimes his finishing, he can score points from incredible angles, but at times he can but sometimes he does have a habit of just dropping a few chances wide. Jarlath says, do you think Clare would beat the likes of Derry? I wouldn't think so, to be honest. I wouldn't think so. I do think, with all due respect, I think it would be tough for Clare to get beyond oh Jesus, there's another chance there that's dropped short there. I'm not too sure who that was. But we've seen two sort of frees from like just right in front of the goal, either drop short or hit the post. Very unusual stuff there. I didn't know what was going on there, but we are back now. Kildare with a point there. They've got up and running on the score sheet. So 1 point apiece. I don't know what happened with my connection there. I don't know what was going on, but we are back. We are back now. So yeah, Mayo and Kildare a point apiece. Definitely neither side have really started too fast here at the minute in the game. You have to say there's been some uncharacteristic misses from both sides as well. Like, that miss from Flynn. There was another chance dropped short as well from number 13 and Mayo. A little bit unusual there. We'll just James Carr, yeah, it was a chance from him drop short. I think he must have called a mark as well. So yeah, 1 point apiece here so far. It says some of these Mrs. Junior B level stuff. Yeah, incredible stuff really in the opening sort of few minutes. Very uncharacteristic from both sides. But yeah, so yeah, just going into a bit of a chance here for Kildare from a mark or from a free here. Could end up getting a chance to take the lead. 1 point apiece. Kevin Flynn just getting a little bit of treatment there. Yeah, very slow, very stop start so far. Not the best game, to be perfectly honest. If people are only tuning into the game now, they wouldn't have missed much at all. Nothing really has happened at all. I am surprised the amount of space Kildare are getting when they're attacking though, and it is that worry for Mayo. Sometimes you see how vulnerable they can be. Big opportunity here from a Kildare perspective. Jimmy Hoyland standing over it, slots it over the bar. So Kildare in front. I'll be happy with that after 10 minutes. I mean, obviously when they played Dublin in that Leinster final, after 20 minutes, it was game over. But even in the opening sort of 10 to 15, you could see the way the game was developing. So Kildare will be happy with how this game has started so far. Mayo, they play at such a high pace at times. You can just see they just, they move the ball very quickly. They attack very fast. But just hasn't quite happened for them here so far. Killian O'Connor nearly runs it out over the end line, but loses possession, and Kildare dispossessed. So Kildare on the attack here, on the counter attack, has not been a great start here so far from the green and red of Mayo. Shane says 3-0 Ireland. Wow, that's extraordinary stuff right there. Fair play. There you go. That will definitely shut the Stephen Kenny haters up for a while anyway. To be fair, I don't know. I just don't really watch Ireland too much, to be honest. I just not, I would watch them if there was nothing else on, but it's just you could be falling asleep watching them half the time. But fair play to Ireland there, 3-0 up. That's great to see. Be some fun watching the highlights of that later, but. Here come Mayo now going down the other end. Kildare had this possessed them but lose possession. Oisin Mullen in there. You have Daniel Flynn tracking back. Oisin Mullen going around. 2-3 players there. James Carr on the ball. Back to Oisin Mullen, who finds himself very high up the field, to be fair. And Kildare dispossessed Mayo again. So just a little bit sluggish here so far from the green and red. They've been moving the ball very quickly, but it's almost like they've been going too fast for themselves. They seem to be just running into trouble. I feel like maybe they need to just sort of hold up the ball a little bit more. But Kildare very attacking here, and this is a brilliant run here from Kevin Flynn. Plays it into Jimmy Hoyland. He was fouled by Lee Keegan, and this is going to be a big opportunity here for Kildare to go 2 up. You'd have to feel here from Jimmy Hoyland. I mean, surely he's going to slot that one over the bar. There's been, some uncharacteristic misses, all right, from, place ball so far in this game, but you'd surely fancy Jimmy Hoyland to slot this one over. Jimmy Hoyland obliges. That's a fine point from himself there, and long way to go yet. Mayo fans certainly won't panic. They're the kings of the comeback. So we've seen Mayo on multiple occasions turn it on in the final sort of 15 to 20 minutes, and we're still very early in here. Yeah. Mayo not having any problems from the kick out. Anyway, Robbie Henley's able to offload the ball into the Mayo backs there, who venture forward. Definitely seen Kildare just a little bit more balanced, definitely defensively here so far, but Mayo haven't been maybe too direct on the ball. Shane says here, great year for the Kerry Hurlers. Heartbreak last weekend and a valiant effort today despite the scoreline. Positive signs for the future. Well, absolutely. Look, Kerry, 3 Joe McDonagh Cup finals in a row, so definitely a lot to be positive for from a Kerry hurling. Well, from a Kerry perspective in general. Oisin Mullen now on the ball. He's almost playing as a half forward at times, the way he picks up the ball. Now you've got, is that Lee Keegan there, find themselves in a position. Short ball into Aaron O'Neill. So Mayo not quite at the races here so far. That was Enda Hessian who found himself quite further forward. Kildare will be very happy with how this game has gone after 15 minutes. It's early days yet, but, for Kildare, after the problems that they had against the Dubs quite early on, they'll be quite happy with the sort of opening 15 to 20 minutes of this game here so far. And here goes Aaron O'Neill on one of them sort of mazy runs that he does from his goal. If Kildare can get the next point to build up a 3-point lead, that'd be huge, wouldn't it? Sarah says here, always enjoy the watch long, but my tiny alien brain can't handle the time delay. So going to drop off Kildare in front, but Mayo look a little bit more composed. Yeah, might be a slight delay. I think because I'm watching on Now TV, there might be a slight delay there, but apologies for that. But yeah, Kildare 3 points to the good here at the minute. And Mayo just haven't quite got going. Look, there's a long way to go yet. You'd still expect Mayo to turn it around, to be fair, but definitely the Mayo folk will be needing a better bit of play. They get ran out over the ball again and again. Kildare are able to turn them over. It's amazing how a team can seem to play when you take a blue jersey out of the equation, is what Emmett says. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Do you know what? It's the psychological factor a lot of the time as well. Because I think when you've got beaten and bruised by the same team over and over and over again, and then it's like pattern recognition in many ways. If you find yourselves 10 to 15 points down against the same team again, it's, you know what I mean? But whereas Kildare, a lot of these Kildare players have wins over Mayo sort of in their history, especially in championship. But yeah, Kildare possession so far have been very poor with Mayo. They seem a little leggy here so far. Kildare seem the fresher side. I've been surprised how much space Kildare are getting in front of that sort of half-back line area. Mayo just very sluggish on the ball, and there's another effort going in there, but that one's going to be wide. This time around there from Ben McCormick, I think it was. But Kildare 3 points to the good here so far. Not been a great game, to be perfectly honest. Mayo have been able to win their own kick out, but it's just been when they've got forward, they haven't, passing just hasn't been quite there. Here's James Carr now on the ball, gives it back into Jeremy O'Connor. Can Mayo do anything here? It's a good pass into Connor Loftus, and I think the referee calling it back here for a foul, is he? He might be. So you'd be expecting Mayo to get their second point of the game here, but Robbie Henley has missed a place ball already. Missed a free, of course, in the opening stages of the game. So it's certainly not a given that he puts this one over, but he will need to put it over because, just to relieve some of the pressure so far here from Mayo, because it has been quite a disappointment from a Mayo perspective in these opening 20 minutes or so. Henley steps up and he drags it in. There might be a chance here maybe for a goal. It drops short. Mayo lose possession but still have the ball. And it's a great bit of work from the Kildare defence there. Very physical in the tackle, just pushing Mayo out. And then they lose it. So here come Kildare now on the counter-attack. And Kildare goes straight up there. There's a bit of space here now for Kildare. If they can work it. Flynn, lovely bit of play here from Kildare. Oh, but it drops short in the end for Robbie Henley. Lovely bit of play there from Neil Flynn, venturing forward. Alex Byrne in the end just having a shot drop short. But Yeah, you can see Kildare's tactic. I mean, certainly a lot more men behind the ball than in the Dublin game, and certainly a lot more physicality, you could say, in the tackle here so far. Mayo need a score here because it's been, geez, it must be nearly 10 minutes or so since they last scored, maybe even more. Here's a good bit of work by Paddy Durkin. Usually a reliable man in front of goal, but that's a very wayward effort. And Aaron Byrne comes away with it. You can see Kildare, like they're gaining in confidence. Like they, in this opening 20-minute spell, they'll be very happy with this. And personally, I would have felt like Mayo would have wanted to have started this game very fast and sort of build up a bit of an early lead, because this Kildare side are already wounded. If they had gone maybe 8 or 9 points down in the first half, they might have just thrown in the towel, and that would have been that. But to be fair to them, Mayo haven't started well at all, and Kildare have capitalised on that. But in saying that, Kildare have had a couple of opportunities now on the counter-attack to get that fifth score and haven't taken them. And here come Mayo again, 15 minutes since their last score. Aidan O'Shea getting 4, but that's a terrible pass there. Kildare don't really deal with it either, though. And I think the ref is calling a free in for a picked up ball. So just a little bit sloppy from both sides in many respects there. I mean, Aidan O'Shea's pass there was to absolutely nobody. And one of the Kildare defenders, I'm imagine he's judged that to have picked the ball up. Yeah, and that's the right decision, isn't it? Because there's no foul there. So this will be a chance for Mayo. You surely expect them to put this one over the bar. If something doesn't go over here from Cillian O'Connor, I'd be starting to wonder what is going on, to be honest. So I think you'd be expecting O'Connor to surely slap this one over from a Mayo perspective, and he does. So Mayo get their first score after 15 minutes and reduce the margin to 2 points. They certainly haven't been anywhere near their best, but a long way to go. And we've seen Mayo so often down the years struggle in these qualifier games. Aaron O'Neill's kick out there is overhit, so Mayo will get the chance here from the line ball, and straight away they go direct into Mr. O'Connor there. An effort comes in there from Jack Carney, but that goes wide, and it stays as a 2-point game. 21 minutes in. I have to be honest, this hasn't been a good game at all, to be perfectly honest. Matt says here, please get Mayo beaten here. Summer will be long enough with Toronto. Without listening to all the celebrity losers from the West is what Matt says there. Well, I mean, they definitely want to improve. I mean, the good thing is here, like, Kildare haven't punished Mayo enough, in my opinion. There's another drop ball. Kildare need to take advantage of this. They really do, because Mayo have been awful in these opening 20 minutes. They're missing so many opportunities for scores. Chances are dropping short. Poor passes, all the rest. They've just been absolutely nowhere near the races here so far. So Kildare, they need to take advantage of this. And when they have the ball themselves, they need to start, just putting the pressure on Mayo, putting a couple of scores over the bar, because there's a poor pass there from Kildare. They've given the possession straight back to Mayo. So, neither side really has been great in this game, to be honest. And you're kind of, after 22 minutes, you're sort of just wondering, are we going to get some action here, or what's going to go on? But here comes Owen McLaughlin. I mean, Mayo are taking the game to Kildare. They're running at Kildare, but it's just been the shooting accuracy that's let them down. Bit of play there from Jason Doherty. He hits an overhit pass. It's just real kamikaze stuff. Mayo have lost the ball now. I can't imagine the amount of turnovers we've seen in this game. There must have been so many turnovers already after 20 minutes in. A real stalemate affair in many ways here so far. Mayo have been sloppy. Kildare have been sloppy at times as well. Kildare have been a little bit more clinical in front of goal, and that's why they lead by 2 points. But here comes a huge run here from Kevin Flynn. Can Kildare get the score here? Lovely touch there from Kevin Feely. He offs it back into Daniel Flynn, who wins the the 45 there, and be interesting to see who takes this. But Kildare with a chance to retake up their 3-point game. Sylvester says Mayo are warming up. They're taking a long time to warm up. I mean, we're 20 minutes in. I mean, normally teams do their warm up before games, but yeah, I mean, I get your point. There is still a long way to go, and the good news is they're only 2 points down here. It's not like they're, 6 or 7 or whatever. So like, I do still fully expect Mayo to win this one, but they just have been very, very drab here so far. And if Aaron O'Neill can do the damage here from this 45, Kildare will go 3 up. And it's wide. So yeah, Emmett says, I would like a real change in Gaelic football. At all times, you should have a minimum of 3 players inside your own 45 line. Yeah, the only problem is it would just be, such a huge change. But personally, I've no problem with, defensive style of football. It's always be a thing. I mean, I think they'd want to be conscious of not changing too much, but we'll obviously have to wait and see. No more 3 consecutive hand passes behind the halfway line. That would probably be a little bit better, I think. Mayo have lost possession again. This time, Jack Carney and squaring up with Neil Flynn there as well, just getting to know each other. But again, Mayo have lost possession. Again, they've been turned over, but Kildare haven't taken advantage of this so far. They really haven't. 25 minutes in and it's 4-2. I mean, that probably tells you a lot about this game so far. And it's strange because it's not been like both sides have been hugely defensive or been cagey. I mean, both sides have been running at each other. They've been going at each other. They've been attacking, but the quality has just been very, very poor in front of goal. Here's a chance for Ben McCormick. Is he going to take his opportunity for a score? He isn't. He puts it wide. And that was a bit of a low percentage shot, to be perfectly honest. Jarlath says the winner of this game will lose to any of the provincial champions. Yeah, you would feel that at the minute. I mean, Mayo are a dangerous side, though. They're one of them that you can just never quite rule out. But can they take advantage here? That's surely a score. It's wide. Jesus. Jack Carney this time. This is pretty woeful stuff here, to be honest, in Croke Park. I mean, I don't like complaining too much about quality of games, but this has been awful stuff here so far. Rory says, "What's the crack? Nothing much, my man. Hope all is well with yourself." 4 points to 2. I mean, both sides have been attacking and gone at each other, but have just haven't impressed at all. But yeah, if people could smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, be much appreciated. Do plenty of watch along streams, all the rest. We will be doing a watch along tomorrow for Donegal Armagh as well, so stay tuned for that, as well as plenty of more match reactions. Plenty of time on the ball. Surely he's going to oblige and put it over the bar, and he does. Kildare get their 5th point of the game, and it is Kevin O'Callaghan there with a lovely score. And Kildare with the score. They needed that as well because they hadn't scored in a while, and considering how, I just can't imagine Mayo will be this bad in the second half. I really don't. I think James Horan will lay into them at half time. So Kildare needs to take advantage of this and build up a lead, because I expect a different Mayo in the second half. I really do. And we've seen Mayo so many times down the years, terrible for large parts of the game, and then they'll just turn it on in the final 10 to 15 minutes. So yeah, poor kick out from Henley, but Mayo have the ball now and marching on in the attack with Killian O'Connor. Just a lot of space for the shooters, but they're not obliging. But that's a good score there from Lee Keegan. A little bit more quality now introduced into the game, and Mayo with their 3rd score of the game. So 3 points to 5 now. Joseph says, do Mayo or Kildare deserve to progress any further? Sounds like a poor quality game. Yeah, look, I mean, it's early days yet, and whoever gets to the quarterfinals, I think deserves to get there at the end of the day, as long as you win your games fairly and squarely. So, but certainly you would say is that, neither of these two have really shown up so far. And if they had there'd be a lot of teams in the last 8 that would fancy their chances against either one of these two. Aaron O'Neill's kick out goes out over the end line. I think this game is still here for Mayo. Like, if they can turn it on and wake up, I can see them delivering, to be honest. But there's another wide there. This time it's from Paddy Durkin. The crazy thing is Mayo have been terrible in this game, but they're only 2 points down. So, it does go to show, like, Kildare, although they're 2 points up, haven't been great either, but they've just been, more clinical in front of goal. But they've, lost possession a lot of times as well. I feel like for Kildare, though, they need to, when they have the ball, like you can see them now just sort of keeping the ball, slowing possession down. They definitely need to do a bit more of that. That's a lovely ball there from Kevin Feely. Daniel Flynn catches it. Surely a foul, nothing doing. Oh, it's brilliant from Jimmy Hyland. Pops it over the bar, but the ref has called it back, I think, for a free in. Foul from Oisin Mullen. Be interesting to see here. It was outside, was it? Yeah. Lovely catch though from Daniel Flynn. Absolutely quality stuff there from Mr. Flynn. Offloads it into Hyland. I don't know why they just didn't give the score. I mean, Hyland popped the ball over the bar anyway, but he's going to score this one and make it 6 points to 3. So Kildare, 3 points up to the good. I mean, look, if you had it set to Kildare fans after half an hour, you'd be 3 points in front of Mayo. They would have took it. They would have took it indeed. No matter what way it's come about. Charlotte says Mayo always seem to start slow. If they played Derry, they would be beat by halftime. Derry did it both Monaghan and Tyrone, and very easily Donegal, but just didn't due to the slow pace of the game. Yeah, I mean, the big caveat there would be in Croke Park. It'd be interesting to see what happens there, but you could see, like, especially the way Mayo have played in this game. I mean, if this was Derry playing them right now, you'd be talking about a long way back. So another chance here for Kildare, who are getting huge amount of space in front of goal, and that's a lovely score there from Kevin O'Callaghan, and Kildare lead up a 4-point game. I was saying there they needed to take advantage, and they're just starting to take advantage a little bit now. 4 points to the good. Glenn Ryan watching on the sideline will be very happy with how his Kildare side, well, with the scoreline anyway. I still think Kildare can play a little bit better, but they are doing very well defensively, to be fair to them, and they forced another turnover, and you can see the sheer emotion on the face of Kevin O'Callaghan there. And Kildare now, with possession, if they could work another score, they'd make it a 5-point game, and that would be huge here after half an hour. Mayo are surely going to play better in the second half, so Kildare need to take advantage of this. Rory said Mayo look like the ones who were going to win it in 2017. After that, they just haven't been putting in the same performances since. Well, they have had a lot of retirements and changes and all the rest, and they have had, they've got a good crop of younger players that have come through since, to be fair, but they still haven't been able, obviously, to get over the line. Here's Mayo now on the attack with Owen McLaughlin. Surely must score, and he does. Much needed score there from a Mayo perspective, and they bring it back down to a 3-point game. Interesting though, I think Jack Carney, the only Mayo forward to have scored here so far. They really are missing the influence of Daniel Flynn. Obviously, Cillian O'Connor scored, but that wasn't from play. So just 1 point from Mayo's forwards from play here after 33 minutes. Jason Doherty obviously goes off early on. Fergal Boland comes on there as well. So that was a change there about 5 minutes ago. So Yeah, Kildare in these kind of moments here on the ball, they have given possession away, and that'll be a downfall for them. But I do think they will be happy with how this game has gone so far. To be fair, um, and they have done very well defensively. And when they've kicked directly there into their full forward line, they've got a bit of joy. Daniel Flynn's caught a couple of balls. Neil Flynn's got into good positions. Mayo have looked very, very vulnerable at the back there, to be honest. And they have been very vulnerable to that direct sort of diagonal ball coming in. But here comes Mayo down the other end with James Carr. Doesn't catch that at all. And Mayo still have it with Jack Carney. Now a chance here for McLaughlin. Oh, what a huge save there. It looked like a save. I think it's gone over the bar anyway from Owen McLaughlin. I think O'Neill got a touch on it there, but Mayo bring it back to a 2-score game. James Carr was certainly going for goal, but it was ballooned into Jack Carney. He found Owen McLaughlin. Big save there by O'Neill, who puts it over the bar, and it becomes a 2-point game. So Mayo just getting a little bit of joy there, it must be said, from Owen McLaughlin. Kildare forwards get caught in possession, and here come Mayo again. They have the ascendancy now, and you'd expect them to score. Here comes Aidan O'Shea into O'Connor. He sort of fumbles it, and that is very poor again from Mayo. I mean, how on earth have they not managed to work a scoring chance there? O'Connor on the ball, and he just, in the end, it's a poor pass, and Kildare had possession. Looked like a foul there. I don't know if the ref's going to throw it in or what the crack is there, but yeah. Jarlett says, I don't like how Mayo are still seen as a top team just based of past years. A lot of players have changed, and it really can't be compared. Yeah, like you wouldn't compare this Mayo team too much to, the 2017 or 2016 teams. I mean, I know some of the players are obviously still in there, like O'Shea, Durkin, Keegan, and they still have the main spine of that same team. Obviously they've had a lot of new players who've come into the team, but the same spine as such is still very much there. But yeah, Kildare win the drop ball. They need a score here just to give themselves a 3-point advantage going into extra time. Daniel Flynn's done very well there. Can Mayo work it, or can Kildare work a chance here with Ben McCormick? I don't know if he put that one over. I think he put it wide, but did the ref call it back for a free? I think he might have. Dubs fan says standard is atrocious. Lads struggling to make basic hand passes. Yeah, I mean, you've had chances dropping short, poor passes. Just it's been very poor, and both sides are kind of lucky they're playing each other, to be honest, because I think Clare would have fancied their chances against either one of these two. I think Roscommon would have as well. So on the basis of how they're playing. But you would expect Kildare to make it a 3-score game. And lovely bit of play there from Jimmy Hyland. I think, did it go over the bar or did it go wide? It looked like it went over the bar. Maybe it went wide, did it? No, it did go over the bar. So there we have it, half-time. Mayo 5 points, Kildare 8 points. It's been nowhere near the level of quality we would have wished to see, and it certainly hasn't been a great game by any stretch of the imagination. If you've decided not to watch this game and watch this stream, well, thank God you're in luck, because not to blow Trump up my own arse and say I'm more entertaining than the game, but it certainly hasn't been a great game by any stretch of the imagination. And Mayo haven't got going. Kildare, haven't been particularly brilliant either. They haven't been great either. They haven't been hugely at the races. But they do lead by 8 points to 5, and they've been a little bit more clinical in front of goal. I think that's the main sort of difference. Mayo, just so many poor hand passes at different times. Just sloppy in possession, chances dropping wide. Just all sorts of chaos really from a Mayo perspective, and it's been nowhere near good enough. And I think, if you're one of those provincial champions watching on, I don't think you fear either one of these two, to be perfectly honest, with the way that they're playing. You would expect Mayo to improve. We know the quality that's in the team. We've seen them in the past come through these games. So I do still think Mayo will have enough to come through. I still think they have the players there. I think their bench, you're looking at lads like Kevin McLaughlin, you'd imagine would come off and make a big difference. McHale made a big difference when he came off against Monaghan. Jordan Flynn, Brian Walsh are in there, Aid Norm. So Mayo have got a good sort of basis in their bench to come off and make a bit of difference. Kildare do still have Woodgate maybe to come on, Derek Kirwan obviously as well. So Kildare have options in their bench as well. But yeah, it's a hard game to talk about so far in the first game because it just hasn't been anywhere near good enough from either side. You'd be perfectly honest. Just looking at the forwards, like Jimmy Hyland scored 4 points from Kildare, all of which have been from place balls, and Jack Carney has scored a point. We've had 1 point from play from either forwards from both teams, and that goes to show, out of the 12 forwards on the field, only one of them have scored a point from play, and that just does go to show really how poor it's been. Kevin O'Callaghan's been excellent for Kildare around the middle, but yeah, just not a particularly great game by any stretch of the imagination. Joseph says excellent commentary. Much appreciate, Joseph. I appreciate the comment, and if anyone else is enjoying the stream there, if you could hit the like button and subscribe, be much appreciated there. Do plenty of streams, podcasts, all the rest similar to this one, and we will be doing a stream for Armagh Donegal tomorrow as well, so stay tuned for that one, as well as reaction to the Cork and Limerick game as well. So much appreciated, and great to see the channel hit 3,000 subscribers recently, so much appreciated right there. But yeah, let me know your predictions going into the second half. For Mayo fans, like, what do you want? What needs to change? Do you need to bring new players on, or what needs to happen? I think the accuracy just needs to improve in front of goal. Like, they've had space to hit opportunities. I would expect James Horan will certainly sort of, hit into these lads, because let's not forget, Horan's job is very much on the line. I think, unless Mayo win the All-Ireland, I don't think Horan's there next year. This is his 4th year in charge of his second spell. He had 4 years in charge of his first spell as well, so 8 years in total. Like, I can't imagine he'll be there next year, to be honest, unless Mayo won the All-Ireland, which at this moment in time is looking very unlikely indeed, it must be said. I'll certainly be curious to see what Jim McGuinness thinks on the on Sky there, watching on. I'm sure he's been involved in some in some worse looking games in his life, but at least his team's had a game plan and it worked. It's not like either one of these two have had blanket defenses or huge amounts of men behind the ball. The quality's just been really poor, and the standard of play has just been awful, really. I'm sure all the usual suspects are given out on Twitter anyways after that one, but I'd still expect Mayo to, surely they'd have a kick in them, with James Horan and this Mayo side. We've seen it in the past before, so I wouldn't rule them out, to be honest, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, kind of just waiting for the second half to start now, to be honest. I'm not too sure what else to say about that first half. There's really nothing else to add, to be perfectly honest. Just running through the scores maybe. So Jack Carney with a point, O'Connor with a point, Killian O'Connor with a point, I should say, Owen McLaughlin with 2, and Lee Keegan with a score there from Mayo. Jimmy Hyland with 4 for Kildare. Kevin O'Callaghan 2 points, Kevin Feely with a point, and Malone with a score there as well from a Kildare perspective. Rory says, my prediction, Mayo 3-14, Kildare 1-10. Hard to see that amount of goals with the way this game is going, but you you would expect you just surely we're going to get better in the second half, because if we don't get as good as what we got, or if we get as bad as what we got in the first half, then we're probably looking at one of the worst. And the fact that this game is at 6 o'clock as well, like, geez, you feel so bad for the fans there. Like, a lot of the Mayo fans won't get home till midnight if they're not booking hotels in the county, and hotels, what, talking nearly 200-300 quid a night, or on a minimum, like, so you'd feel bad for a lot of those fans, because they've spent a lot of money probably to come up and support their team. For the Mayo fans who came from Mayo anyway, and they've witnessed a really poor performance from their team, and a poor spectacle really in general. What you would say is fair play to, like, the Kildare's full back line, and they've done a lot of sort of work. They have turned Mayo over on time, so, like, you have to give Kildare credit. At the same time, they have caused a lot of problems for Mayo. It hasn't been easy for Mayo to run through Kildare, which was something that Dublin done quite well, you'd have to say, in the first half of the Leinster final. Hasn't quite been the same. There's been a lot more intensity in the tackle. The likes of Mick O'Grady, Shay Ryan, Houlihan as well, I think, have done very well for Kildare. But Mayo have had the chances to be in front in this game, but at the same time, Kildare probably had the chances to be maybe 7 or 8 in front, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, definitely a lot going into the second half to hopefully see, and you would hopefully see a much improved Mayo team. Ireland 3-0 up against Scotland. There you go. Who would have seen that one coming? Certainly not me. Rory says here as well, your commentary is very good. I love your videos. Appreciate it, my man. Sorry, I only seen that comment now, but yeah, much appreciated. Much appreciated. Up the Dubs. I'm a big Dublin fan. Yeah, look, I think Dublin will be thereabouts this year. I'll be fairly confident of that, having watched them in the Leinster Championship. What you would say, though, is the quality of opposition hasn't been great by any stretch of the imagination, and that is going to be a worry. It's going to be interesting to see them up against some of the top teams or whatever. But we'll obviously have to wait and see there. Happy Now says first time bothering to watch sports commentary on YouTube. Not a massive sports fan, but I watch Mayo GAA when I know it's on. Good commentary. Like and subscribe. Much appreciated there. Happy Now. I'm happy now. So there we go. Happy days. Happy all around. But you certainly can't be happy after that first half performance as a Mayo fan, anyways, because it's been fairly drab stuff, and you'd kind of feel feel bad for the Sky Sport. Actually, no, I don't feel bad for them. I mean, they're making a mint, even by being there. But I'm sure they've really nothing much. I mean, they're talking about the Kildare shape at the minute. They have nothing to talk about there, to be honest. They might as well just run commercial ads for the full 15-minute break, because there's really been not a lot to discuss. But yeah, I mean, certainly nowhere near the quality of Clare Roscommon earlier today, and I mean the hurling earlier today was very exciting as well. I mean, Cork and Antrim was although you'd look at the scoreline and think it was very one-sided, it certainly was a very intriguing game in many ways, and Antrim even led at half time, so that was very exciting stuff. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Mayo make any substitutions or changes at halftime, if they bring anyone on, or what the story is there. I think if they can hold their nerve and hold their bottle, they should come through this still. But Kildare will take a lot of confidence, and that'll be a huge win for Kildare, because to have come from that absolute beating against the Dubs to have beaten Mayo, that would be huge. It really would. It'd be absolutely massive. And who would have seen both Connacht sides go out on the same day in Croke Park? Not many, but That is the way it is looking here at the minute. Sarah says, I wouldn't worry about Sky Sports pundits. It's us fools who travel across the country to see this junior be shy. You should be feeling sorry for. Yeah, and as I said there a few minutes previous, yeah, I just feel bad for the fans. I mean, imagine having to travel all the way up for that. I mean, it's very, very bad indeed, to be perfectly honest. I mean, it's just been drab from Mayo, drab from Kildare. Neither side has been at the races at all. Kildare have been, that bit more clinical in front of goal, hence why they're 3 points in front. But, both sides have been nowhere near good enough. And, as a fan watching that, you wouldn't leave at halftime, obviously, because it makes no sense. Because, you're only 3 points down and you paid all the way to go up there. Sure, you might as well stick it out for a full 70 or beyond that. But yeah, I mean, geez, if this goes to extra time, if it's more of this and it goes to extra time, I mean, it's even worse. It's worse for everyone, worse for the fans and everything else, because you don't know when they'll get home then. To be perfectly honest, disastrous stuff, really. Maybe you'd be better off just going, having a few points in the bar or someone watching this, because it's not been great at all. But you would expect a kick from Mayo and for them to be far more clinical in front of goal in the second half, because James Horan's job is on the line here. He doesn't want to go out like this. This Mayo team wouldn't want to go out like this. They want to go down fighting, and if there's anything about Mayo down the years, they usually do go down with a fight. Even in those All-Ireland finals and all the rest, they usually, they very rarely back down from a battle. So I would still expect them to come through in the second half. Rory says, did you ever play the Gaelic football game on PS2? I played it a few times. All right, it was good fun while it lasted. Be nice to see them release a new version or something like that on the new Xbox or PlayStation or whatever. But probably unlikely, unfortunately. But yeah, second half will be up and running in a couple of minutes time here. Maybe it's probably already up and running, because I'm slightly behind here with this Now TV subscription there. But yeah, just waiting for the second half here to start, because there's really not a lot else to discuss or talk about, to be honest. After that first half display. Thank God I decided to have a beer during that first half, because it's the only thing that's keeping me going watching this game, to be honest. But look, you would expect, surely a much bigger game. Just much more. It has to open up in the second half. It just has to. It really, really does. Emmett says Mayo have it all to do. Can they dig deeper and do it, or just go through the motions and do a Mayo surrender? Is what Emmett says there. I mean, look, usually they do dig deep in the qualifier games and the quarterfinals, all the rest. They usually do find a way to give them credit, So, but this Mayo team just hasn't been great since they started the league quite well, but sort of at the end of the league and started championship, they just haven't really been at it. And there's been, they haven't been as bad today as they, they were much better against Monaghan, but they've a lot of work to do, most definitely. Sarah says, I won't leave early, but no one wants extra time of this. If I'm home by midnight, I'd be very happy. Fingers crossed for a better second half. Yeah, I don't think anyone wants extra time, unless it turns into be an absolute, spectacle in the second half, and it's just, an unbelievable game and all the rest. But it doesn't really look like that, does it? It doesn't really look like it's going to be a spectacle, to be perfectly honest. If you have to be honest, you would say that that it's probably going to be more of the same. But I would expect it to open up. It has to open up. Surely it has to open up. Mayo team out now. And so yeah, second half about to get up and running here. Don't think there's been any changes, but it looks to things there from a Mayo perspective. So James Horan maybe sticking to his guns would be interesting to see. Obviously I'm not watching the commentary, so I can't quite tell at the minute if there has been any changes there. Let's have a look. Doesn't look like it anyway. No changes from Kildare. Alex Byrne did go off on the 30th minute and was replaced by Paul Cribben, but no other changes there. I suppose it is early days yet, but surprised. I would have brought on Kevin McLaughlin personally because he's a man that I think would inject something different into this Mayo team. He usually does, or maybe they're saving him for a little bit later. But yeah, just about to get up and running here in Croke Park, thank God, because just running out of things to talk about here at this point, and hopefully we get something a little bit more to discuss in this second half. I don't know what we're quite waiting for here at the minute to get started. Oh, here we go. We're waiting for the Kildare team. Jeez, Kildare didn't want to come out for the second half. They were thinking, you know what, we're 3 points to the good here. Let's end it here. Let's end it here. But here they come out for the second half, and a big 35 minutes for Kildare as well, because if they can hold off Mayo and get this win, that'd be huge for them going into the quarterfinals. And the good thing from a Kildare perspective as well is that I think they will avoid Dublin because they can't be repeat parents. So that would be absolutely huge from a Kildare perspective if they are to come through. Jim says, can Mayo win? Look, they're only 3 points down and they've come out all guns blazing here at the start of the second half, but a brilliant block there. Absolutely brilliant defending there from Shay Ryan, and Kildare race out with it now with Kevin O'Callaghan, and that's brilliant from Kildare, isn't it? That's just brilliant defending. Mayo coming out fast, quick on the attack there at the start of the second half, and just a wonderful block from Mick O'Grady, actually, I should say, not Shay Ryan, but really, really good block there. But yeah, Kildare on the attack now with Ben McCormick, 1 point to his name so far. Back into Flynn, now into McCormick. Is he going to get the point? He is. He puts it over the bar. So Kildare go 4-2 the good here quite early on. And that's a huge moment as well, to be fair, because, Mayo were, they started very, very fast. You were thinking James Carr's going to put that ball over the bar. Brilliant block by Mick O'Grady. They work it down the line. Brilliant bit of interchange from both Flynn and Ben McCormick, and McCormick slots it over for his second score of the game, and it's 4 points. A lot of work for Mayo to do. We know they have the fight in them because we've seen it there before. We know they have the quality as well. They might have a couple of lads injured in O'Donoghue and Tommy Conroy and, a few other lads. Obviously, you got Jordan Flynn on the bench, but in terms of the players on the pitch, they have good enough players there in O'Connor. McLaughlin maybe to come off the bench as well. Oisin Mullen, who's almost been playing as a midfielder or almost as a half forward at times, but the ref has stopped the play there at the minute. There's a Kildare man down on the field. Not exactly too sure what's going on there, but 4 points to the good for Kildare. The Kildare fans will be very, very happy after 37 minutes. I mean, it'd be a famous, famous win for Kildare. Would it be more famous than the New Bridge or Nowhere? I'm not sure because, that result was at home, but, I mean, there's going to be some interesting quarterfinals, all right, if Kildare are to hold off, you know. I mean, that side of the draw with Derry and Galway, you know, you really are looking at the potential of um, a team to, a team who doesn't usually make an All-Ireland final to come through there. But look, still a long way to go. Only 37 minutes gone. Mayo surely are going to have a kick. There's a ball floated in by O'Connor. Doesn't come to anything there. And Shay Ryan on the ball just plays it back in. And Kildare now can break with Kevin O'Callaghan. He plays it into Neil Flynn. Now Kevin Feely. So Kildare probably, to be fair, just need to slow possession down. They don't need to move the ball as fast. Lovely bit of play there from Ben McCormick. What you would say about Kildare is they just look that bit sharper, that bit fitter, that quicker, that little bit quicker to those balls. Can they get themselves a score here? It was a tough angle of an effort. Flies wide there from Kevin Feely. I mean, I feel like if you're a Kildare fan, that would frustrate you, though, because, you know, a lovely bit of work. Does Feely need to take the shot on there? He doesn't. You know, probably had better options. Henley's kick out goes astray there, but the referee has called it back, I think, there. I'd imagine he's going to throw it in here, or is he going to call a foul? Be interesting to see what happens coming together there between Mr. Jack Carney and I think Neil Flynn. Didn't quite see. The Kildare Dream Team management watching on there, going into the final half an hour. They know that they might be on for something huge. And look, if, you know, for Kildare fans, if they do come through this, they don't care how they've won this game. You know, they don't care that Mayo have been, you know, absolutely terrible. Shoulder in the back there, but nothing really in it. To be fair, ref has called it a Kildare foul. I don't know why he didn't just play on. Kildare had possession. Or maybe it was a doctor stoppage. I'm not sure. But yeah, Kildare on possession here. If they can go 5 in front, that'd be big. It's a weird pass from Flynn there, and Mayo pick it up with Owen McLaughlin. Oh, that's a terrible pass. I was literally about to say he's probably been Mayo's best player so far, but that was an awful ball. And can Daniel Flynn take advantage? He can. That's a wonderful score from Daniel Flynn. His first score of the game. Kildare 5 in front. And Mayo look in a spot of bother here. They really, really do. Terrible pass from Owen McLaughlin. I was literally just about to say he's probably been Mayo's best player today. And then he just goes and does that. And that really does go to show how poor they've been. And there's another poor pass again. And they really are just all over the place. I was expecting a kick in the second half, and we just haven't got that whatsoever. Kenneth says here Mayo's hand passing is shocking. And it has been. I mean, their all-round play, their build-up play has just been so poor. They've been terrible here. Here come Kildare on the attack. Can they work something here? It's Jimmy Hyland. Oh, it's a lovely dummy. Has that gone over the bar? It has. It's a wonderful score from Jimmy Hyland, a dummy as well. Kildare are playing some really good stuff. You know, Kildare probably weren't even that good in the first half, and they led by 3. In the second half, they're stepping it up now. Look at that dummy from Hyland. And then he slots it brilliantly over the bar. Kildare lead by 6. And Mayo here are on the ropes, and they really need to improve. Their hand passing has been sluggish. Their play has been sluggish. They haven't scored in the second half. You were expecting a kick from them in this second half, and it hasn't happened. As a matter of fact, Kildare have actually been the ones who've kicked on here. And with 20 plus minutes to go, Mayo are on the ropes. The wait for Sam could be going on for a year more. Shane says, go on, Kildare. Dubs fan says, what a dummy. And it was. I mean, it was a brilliant piece of imagination there from Mr. Hyland. Mayo just need a score here at the minute because they haven't scored in the second half. And, you know, the longer the game stays like this, like just the more Kildare grow in confidence. You know, Mayo haven't Like when's the last time Mayo haven't scored since the 34th minute? So, just before half time, they really need to get the next score here. Because if 6 becomes 7, it's a 3-score game. And, Kildare very well organised here. A lot of men behind the ball. They weren't as defensive as this in the first half, but they have a 6-point lead over Mayo, and you can see why now. Oisin Mullen offloads it into Jeremy O'Connor. O'Connor gets it back, running here at the Kildare defence. Mayo needs something, and they don't. They put it wide there from Mr. Jeremy O'Connor, and Mayo look like they're in a spot of bother here. John says greetings from Limerick. Greetings, John. Hope all is well. Best of luck for tomorrow's game. Rory says, what's happened to Mayo this year? I don't know, but they've won the resulting kick out. Aidan O'Shea, is he going to back himself and go for a score? He isn't. An effort instead there from Fergal Boland. Is that wide as well? No, it is. It's over the bar. Good score there from the Mayo substitute. And it brings it back to a 5-score game. Time for Mayo lads to pack up the pink boots and make up bags for another year, is what Emmett says there. Now we need it to stay like this, and we get Kildare and the Dubs get the winner of Donegal versus Armagh, is what Shane says there. Here come Kildare on the attack. They need to respond to make it a 6-point game. I'm just amazed how bad Mayo have been in this game. It's just been like, this has really been one of the worst performances I've ever seen from them, to be honest. Here goes Daniel Flynn. Oh, it's a lovely bit of skill. Flynn. Oh, he was taking everyone on there. He probably should have took the point, but fair play. He backed himself. He went for the goal. That was a lovely bit of play, but yeah, what an opportunity. And could that be a turning point? Here come Mayo now going down the other end. Hand passed in. Keelan O'Connor into Boland. Back for O'Connor. And that's gone over the bar. So it's back to a 4-score game. So Mayo just putting on the burners a little bit now. 2 big points there from a Mayo perspective. And although Daniel Flynn done very, very well at the other end, he beat 3-4 players or ran around them. He was running a ring around the whole Mayo fullback line. He was making them dizzy, but he goes for goal and it deflects and falls into the hands of Henley. That would, maybe in hindsight, he should have went for the point. Shane also says, but we need a bit of a challenge in the semi-final and more chance. One of the big guns going out, the better, is what Shane says there. Here's a chance for Mayo. Are they going to get another score? I think they have. Yeah, that's a 3-point game there. It's a lovely score. And Mayo have hit 3 without reply now. So they look as if it's taken them a while, but it looks as if they finally woke up. It's a good point from Loftus. 3-score game. And Kildare really need to get the next score now just to stop this flurry of momentum. They are playing a dangerous game at the times. I mean, look how high up the field Mayo press. I mean, they play such a high press. You wonder why Aaron O'Neill maybe just won't kick a bit more long, or so try play over the top. Kildare are getting a lot of space in Mayo's back line, though. And it is causing problems. Here's Ben McCormick. Neil Flynn. It's a big moment, this. Is he going to get it? He's got it. 12 points to 8. Neil Flynn. Lovely score. 4-point game. I mean, obviously, there's a huge rivalry between Dublin and Mayo fans. So, as a Dublin man, I would probably like to see Kildare win. But at the same time, I do think it's a better championship with Mayo in it. So I'm sort of torn as to who I actually want to to win this one, to be honest, because, you know, a Dublin Mayo quarterfinal would be very tasty. It'd be very tasty indeed. You know, I'd much rather play Mayo in a quarterfinal than Clare, to be honest, just because, you know, you kind of know, and that's no disrespect to Clare, you kind of know the outcome already. It's a lovely score there from Lee Keegan. That's a brilliant score and an excellent response. And, you know, to be fair, this game was very poor in the first half. It's definitely coming more to light now in the second half, and it's you know, starting to come a bit more to light. You know, Mayo have nearly kicked the same amount of points in the last sort of 8 or 9 minutes than they did in the entirety of the first. I do think for Kildare, though, as long as they have the lead, you know, there will be spaces in behind Mayo there, because we've seen Mayo just a little bit vulnerable defensively at times. Ryan Houlihan venturing forward, plays in a lovely ball to Ben McCormack, who's picked up the ball in some lovely positions and had a very good game so far. Is that going to bend in? It isn't. Wide. Big chance there from Kildare. McCormack ends up putting it wide. Well, I tell you what, you know, I was thinking doing this live stream that this game might be over going into the final 20 minutes or so. But that's definitely not the case. I mean, we definitely have a game on our hands here. And, you know, this has been very exciting. And Mayo have definitely started to just turn it up a little bit more now. Can they bring it down to a 2-point game? Again, though, the hand passing's a little bit questionable. Kildare of the ball, and they turn it over. Again, it's Kevin O'Callaghan doing a lot of brilliant work around the middle. And can Kildare force a score from the turnover? I think it might have been O'Shea with the hand pass there. John says, come on, Mayo. And Mayo certainly going to need all their support in the world. Here comes O'Neill, almost playing as a midfielder, needs to offload the ball and does, into Flynn. It's a hugely direct ball, but Ushie Mullen gets caught all over the place. And Ben McCormack, and the ref is giving it the other way. I've no idea why he's done that. That's interesting. I'd be curious to see that one again. I don't really know what happened there. Glenn Ryan certainly isn't happy either. Huge moment that. And could Mayo capitalise now? Keegan kicks directly in. It's fallen for Cillian O'Connor. And it hits the post and it's wide. So it moves to a 3-score game. I mean, I'm not sure why the ref gave a free out there. I didn't really see anything there. I mean, that was an opportunity, a half chance for Kildare to work something. Mark says, I'm from Roscommon, can't believe we lost that game. I don't think anyone could really. I mean, you were watching that thinking, how on earth has that happened? You know, if you're a Roscommon fan, yeah, you'd be very sad on the way home, to be perfectly honest. Or if you're staying in Croke Park, maybe you're staying in Croke Park cheering for Kildare. Another chance for Kildare, for Highland. He doesn't take advantage. Kildare are getting chances here, but they're just not taking advantage of it. And, you know, going into the final 20 minutes, the game is there for Kildare. The game is there if they really want this. But, you know, you just wonder, are those chances going to come back to bite them? Be interesting to see if they bring on Dara Kirwan at some point. We know he's a man who can definitely make an impact. Here's Mayo on the attack. Are they going to get a score there? It looks like they are. Lovely bit of play there from Jeremy O'Connor, and Mayo bring it back to a 2-point game and have them in 6 points down quite early on in this second half. I'd be very happy now to bring it back within touching distance, and this is a big kick out now for Kildare. They win the ball. Neil Flynn trying to make something of it there. Conway on the ball there, brought down by McLaughlin. You can see Glenn Ryan on the touchline there. He's certainly been very adamant. Rory says here, reminds me of last year semi-final between Dublin and Mayo. Yeah, definitely some similarities, all right, in this, with the way the game has gone, with the fact that Mayo were very bad in that game up until sort of the final 15, 20 minutes, and then, turned it on. Another chance here for Kildare, but it goes a begging, and that's just not good enough, really, is it? It's a poor miss from Daniel Flynn. I think he's been called back anyway. So I think he might be able to get the free. He's still not happy with himself anyway. But yeah, he'll get the chance. But Flynn being dragged back there by Jeremy O'Connor, so right decision. Poor finish in the end from Flynn, but it shouldn't make a difference here, because it should be put over the bar here from Jimmy Hyland, and it should be brought back to a 3-score game, or a 3-point game, I should say. Hyland standing up. Was it over the bar? It's gone to Hawkeye. Wow. Wow, I mean, you've got to be taking them chances. If you want to be beating Mayo, you've got, I mean, it looked slightly over from where I seen it, but you've got to be taking them. You've got to be putting them over the bar, surely. Yeah, it was miles in. Hawkeye is having a mare there. Miles over the bar. It looked over the bar as well. I was just looking at the umpires. They looked a little bit undecided. So it was over the bar in the end from Highland. Patrick says, are Kildare about to do a shock? They just might be. They're 15 minutes away plus injury time. Shane says, what's the time? Yeah, 15 minutes plus injury time there. Well, 15 and a half minutes, you could say there. But I do think I'm a little bit behind because I'm watching on Now TV. So I might be like a couple, maybe 20, 30 seconds behind there. But Kildare, 3 points to the good going in. Aaron O'Neill playing as a midfielder. He's found himself very high up the pitch there. I don't know what he's doing. Very, very dangerous stuff. If he had won the ball, it would have worked out. But nearly put his team in a bit of jeopardy there. Mayo now go down the other end. Look at them swarming. And they forced the turnover. And that's a big, big moment there for Kildare. Mayo caught in possession again. And this time, it was Connor Loftus who was caught. And Mayo really need something big here, because Kildare are turning them over. And as I said before, if Kildare can be a little bit more clinical in front of goal, they might just, they very well could win this game. 3 points. Oh, it's another effort there that goes wide. I mean, I'd love to know the statistics on the wides in this game. Because there's been a lot of wides in this one. Here come the Mayo boys on the attack. Still remains a 3-point game. Forward from Paddy Durkin. He's put a wide as well. Jesus, there has been some amount of wides in this one. The time there is 14 minutes plus injury time. 14 minutes plus injury time there. So 56 minutes on the clock there at the minute. Patrick says Mayo did beat Kildare in the league. They did. It was a close one, and it was definitely a much better game than today's affair. Was Paddy Durkin fouled there as he went through? I think the referee, has he called it back? Or was it just a follow-through? Looked more like a follow-through from me. Yeah, moving into the final 13 minutes. Big kick out this from O'Neill. He goes long. Doesn't reach anyone, though. Reaches a Mayo player. And they're on the attack now. Still hasn't been many substitutes really from either side. Long direct ball there, but it's over hit for Jack Carney, and that just sums up Mayo in this game. Just a poor pass really there from Fergal Boland. Darren McHale come on. He came on a while ago actually, but yet to score for Mayo. And in terms of Kildare, you've got Dara Kirwan on the field now as well. Mayo turnover, Kildare again though. Like it's still there for Mayo as well though. Like it's still there for either team. Fergal Boland kicks directly there into Cillian O'Connor. He gets overturned, but Mayo still have the ball. German O'Connor into Padraig O'Hara. He's come off the bench as well. But that results into nothing. Aaron O'Neill has the ball. Mayo sort of look like headless chickens out there at times. I mean, they're just running around and, you know, they're always sprinting and it's very high octane, but there's just not really much end product, really. And there's just poor passing and all the rest. And can Kildare now take advantage? And here is Dara Kirwan, I think. Has there been a foul here? I'm not too sure if it's a free in or free not, but yeah, a lot going on. Slot Boy says great that we have a GAA, Mark Goldbridge. I certainly wouldn't compare myself to him, but I do appreciate the comment. I mean, you getting compared to a legend like the Goldbridge. I mean, that's nice to hear. To be fair, any news of the qualifiers? Roscommon did beat Kildare. Clare beat Roscommon earlier today, so yeah, that was also. We could be in tune for two big surprises here. You know, I don't think anyone really. You know, we all felt that maybe Clare might give Roscommon a go. Maybe maybe Kildare might give Mayo a go, but Kildare have been in the lead of this game for the majority. Big opportunity here from Highland. Puts it wide. Did he need to go for goal there? Could he not have worked it short? I think Kildare's game management has just been a bit of an issue here. Highland didn't need to go for that score there. They're 3 points in front. They could have worked it short. 10 minutes to go. Aidan O'Shea goes off. Jordan Flynn comes on. I don't think it's been a great game from Aidan O'Shea, to be honest. Yeah, it just hasn't been good enough from him, unfortunately. Big kick out from Mayo. They need to deliver. It's been a while since we had a score here in this game. The start of the second half was good, but the start of the second half really hasn't been. We haven't had a score since the 53rd minute. So yeah. Can Mayo work something here? They probably need a goal, to be fair. It's getting to that stage where a goal might be needed for Mayo. And here they go. There's so many players behind the ball, Kildare. No goals in this one. I definitely wouldn't have predicted that, to be honest, when we seen the game. Cillian O'Connor in possession. Works it back into Mr. Matthew Rowan. Oisin Mullen. Padraig O'Hara. Oisin Mullen back for... Oh, Mullen's gone through. Oh, what a lovely finish that is. And Mayo get themselves a goal. Oisin Mullen with a wonderful finish. Lovely bit of play between himself and Padraig O'Hara. It's the defenders combining. And to be fair, it has been the Mayo defenders who've bailed Kildare out of this in terms of their attack and play. Lovely finish there from Oisin Mullen. Great bit of combining play between himself and O'Hara. The ponytail defenders of Mayo combined, and a wonderful finish there from Mr. Mullen. And Mayo now, like what we said, the final 10 to 15 minutes, you'd expect Mayo to push on and deliver, and that's what's happening. And they've got themselves a goal, and all of a sudden those chances from Kildare that they missed have come back to bite them. Are Mayo going to drag themselves over the line in the qualifiers like they so usually do, even when they don't play well? We've seen them do it in the past against Derry, Cork. I remember that Cork game going to extra time. I remember Derry years ago when Derry weren't the team that they were today, and they barely got through that one. Clare, I remember one year as well. Mayo have had just this weird thing in the qualifiers where they rarely win comfortably, no matter who they're playing. They could be playing anyone. They could be playing Wicklow and they'd probably struggle. And no disrespect to Wicklow. But they could be playing a Division 4 team and they'd struggle. But it's when they get to semi-finals, they just seem to turn it on, and quarterfinals. But let's see what Kildare can do going down the other end. They do nothing. And moving into the final 7 minutes. Key for Kildare is to keep the scoreboard ticking over. That was the key, but now it's, let alone keeping the scoreboard ticking over, they need to just, score. The ascendancy's all with Mayo now. And the problem is Kildare have dropped back and been very defensive in the second half. And the problem with that is, for as defensive as you've been, if you go behind, then all of a sudden you need to start coming out a bit more. But here come Kildare on the attack. They need to choose the right option here and they need to score. Oh, but it's broken down and there's nothing that's come from it in the end. I think Kildare could really look back at this game with massive regrets, to be honest. Here comes McLaughlin. Now Cillian O'Connor. Mayo. Can they take the lead for the first time since their opening score of the game? They haven't led since, I think, the second or third minute in this game. So, yeah, big score. And you can see Mayo now just slowing the game down a bit more, showing a bit more of that experience. Moving into the final sort of 6 minutes or so. Mulling into Jeremy O'Connor. Is that over the bar? It is. And Mayo take the lead. And it's a lovely score there from the substitute, Fergal Boland, I think it is. And Mayo go in front for the first time in the game. It's a huge score. And Kildare, for as good as they've done, be very disappointed because they've had the chance, they've had the opportunity to win this game. I mean, they probably should have been, 4, 5, 6 points in front before extra time. But it hasn't been the case. And now Kildare need to respond. They need to get on the score sheet themselves. Here is Jimmy Hyland. Back into Feely. He goes out wide to Conway. Shay Ryan. Lovely bit of play. Shay Ryan. Is he going to put it over? He is. That's a lovely score from the fullback. It's definitely been a day for scoring defenders. Lovely score there from Shay Ryan. Pops it over the bar. And we now are level again. I'll tell you what, it may not have been an entertaining spectacle and a free-flowing game of football, but at least going into the final couple of minutes, we well and truly have a contest here. Niall says, how bad are Mayo? How bad are Kildare? They've both been, not at their best. Mayo definitely have started to turn it on a lot more so in the final 15, 20 minutes or so, to be fair to them, though. And that's been key. Can Mayo go back in front? Rory says extra time. Yeah, it's looking that way. You feel bad for the supporters. It's already late enough getting home. For Mayo fans, it's what, 3-hour drive to, I suppose depending on what part of Mayo you're from. Here goes Matthew Rowan. And Lee Keegan, he's going to put that over. He usually does, but he doesn't. He doesn't. Puts it wide. 3 minutes to go. Plus injury time. Oh, that's a terrible kick out from O'Neill. And Mayo could put the game to bed here. Oh, but it goes over the bar and they get away with it. Mayo go in front, but a poor kick out from O'Neill there. Very loose. Mayo capitalise. They work it into Cillian O'Connor. A brilliant block there. And I don't know what's going on here, but the stream is turned off for some reason. That's not great, is it? Why on earth has that happened? The Xbox is shut down there, so that's just great. That's what you want to see, isn't it? Going into the final few minutes of a game. It is Mayo 112. Kildare 14 points though going into the final few minutes. My Sky stream there just shut down. Very, very nice to see going into the final couple of minutes. But yeah, Mayo, as usual, have managed to find a way through, and that's usually been the story for Mayo, hasn't it? I mean, they're the experts at just coming back from the dead. Yeah, just now TV subscription, buddy. You can get I don't use I just use the Xbox just to watch Netflix, all the rest, but we have it back on now anyway. Going into the final minute here, Mayo a point in front. Mayo have been poor for large parts of this game, but as expected, they come roaring back in the closing minutes. You wouldn't expect Mayo to do anything in a quarterfinal, to be perfectly honest, given how they've played here. But how many times have we seen Mayo do this down the years? I mean, it always just seems to be dramatic from them. It's another score there, this time from Boland, and Mayo, right at the death, have turned it on, and they're 2 points to the good. They look home and hose now. It's going to take a big, big effort here from Kildare, I think, to turn it around. Kildare must have led for about an hour in this game, but their missed chances has come back to haunt them. And Kildare or Mayo look very close now to an All-Ireland quarter-final. I have to say, though, a lot of work from them to do going into the quarterfinals, no doubt about that. The thing about Mayo is they always do seem to improve when they get to the semi-final stage, give or take. But they obviously can't get Galway in a quarterfinal, from what I know. There can't be repeat pairings. They've struggled breaking down Kildare defensively at times. Imagine how they'd struggle breaking down Derry. Sure, Kerry and Dublin will be up for playing them as well. So it'd be tough for Mayo, but at least on the hindsight, they've avoided or are looking like they've avoided the potential humiliation of losing this game. And they have possession now as well. Kildare just struggling to get the ball at all, really, to be honest. David says everybody wants Mayo to win, Sam, but their chance is gone, I think. If they struggle against Kildare, they have no hope against the Kingdom or the Dubs. Yeah, I mean, they'll certainly have a lot of improvement to do, but we've seen Mayo down the years improve. This is what they've sort of been famous for. The quarterfinals, they've struggled massively, and qualifiers they've struggled, and then once they get to sort of semi-final stage. So I don't really know. Look, when they play the bigger teams, they'll raise their game, but there's certainly a lot of work to do, a lot of work for them to do going into the next round. Make no mistake about that. But yeah, if people could smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, be much appreciated. There will be a match reaction out after the game as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. And yeah, plenty more podcasts, interviews, all the rest to come soon, and more reactions out for tomorrow's games as well as a watch-along stream for Donegal Armagh. So, plenty to run through tomorrow as well. Jimmy Hoyland's gone off. That's a big miss there from a Kildare perspective. Henley will step up. If he puts this over the bar, I think that's game over. And he puts it wide. Kildare will have one last chance here. If they get a goal, it would be incredible. There's 2 balls on the pitch. The ref is surely going to have to add a few more time on. The referee has brought the game forward, has he? Or what's going on here? I don't know. Moving into the final 2 minutes. The intensity of Mayo's press has been there, but Daniel Flynn has just managed to find his way through about 3 players there. Kevin O'Callaghan, heavy challenge. Gets the ball off. Kildare still have it. More heavy challenges coming in. O'Connor's on the ground. A bit of time wasting there. The referee will certainly have to make note of it. Could have been a heavy challenge at O'Connor, to be fair. Going into the final 30 seconds here. I'd imagine the referee will add maybe a minute or 2 on, or maybe a minute or so, just given this little stoppage here. But can Kildare do the unthinkable and get the winning goal? I mean, that'd be an insane finish, wouldn't it? O'Neill's coming forward. Do Kildare just go for the point? O'Neill still has it. He needs to release it. He does. Kildare need to work a goal here. And they're getting forward. And it's a half chance, but Mayo have everyone back there. And that's going to be a free out. And that should be game over. A Markeen goal, yeah, that's what they need. But they didn't. I was surprised they didn't send the ball in. Like they sort of tried to run it through. I was surprised they didn't try run it through. Is there a moment of madness from Mayo? A bit like the Monaghan game. Doesn't look like it at the minute. Here they come marching forward. Paddy Durkin. It hasn't been anywhere near the best from Mayo, but they look as if they've got the job done. Oh, Jesus. What a goal that is. Mother of Moses. That's a wonderful finish there. He's lobbed the goalkeeper, and that is game, set, and match. What a wonderful finish there from the Mayo substitute. Jordan Flynn. What a goal that is. I don't know if he's seen... Yeah, he's seen O'Neill off his line. He goes for the lob. He executes it perfectly. Game, set, and match, and Mayo have booked themselves through to the quarterfinals of the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship. 2-13 to 14 points. The final whistle is blown. Mayo certainly made hard work of it. They usually do. They always do. They seem to be doing this. They seem to love putting their supporters through the run of the mill. They weren't great today by any stretch of the imagination, but in the final 20 minutes, they stepped it up, they turned up, and they delivered and get the victory. Huge, huge result from a Mayo perspective, just to get themselves through. Look, we know they should improve, or will they improve? I don't know. As a Dublin fan, I've seen them so many times down the years look terrible in the qualifiers, and then they just come through into the quarterfinals and semi-finals and deliver. It will be a huge surprise to see them beat Kerry in a quarterfinal if they played them, but at the same time, they've done that before, so it's a strange one. It really, really is. Oral Ali says, when's the quarterfinal draw? It is Monday, I believe. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, the full time has gone. So we will go ahead and wrap this up here. Cheers to anyone who tuned in to the live watch-along stream. If you could smash the like button and subscribe, it would be much appreciated. We will be doing a match reaction in about 10 minutes or so stay tuned for that one. But yeah, Mayo progressed. Congratulations to Mayo fans. They get the victory. It wasn't easy. It was tough. Kildare certainly made them work for it, but it is Mayo who get the job done. So, cheers to anyone who tuned in, and I'll see you all soon.